What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time stopping in, thank you for joining me. In today's video, we are doing a part 2 on my TCMT tour pack that I purchased off of Amazon. I wasn't sure how I'd like it, but it turned out I liked it so much that I decided to reach out to TCMT and ask if they would be interested in sponsoring me in terms of sending me some parts to spruce this tour pack up even further and for me to share them with you guys. So, in today's video, we're going to be doing just that. I've got a few boxes here. Let's dive in. Alright, as you can see, I was too excited to open this stuff up and take a look, so I've already done so. I'm going to go ahead and just fast forward to having this stuff laid out on the workbench for you, but I do want to point out beforehand that everything did come extremely well packaged, just like my tour pack did. As you can see, we are going to be rocking out with these upgrades on the new tour pack. We have speakers, speaker enclosures, really nice quality. The grills on these are impressively nice. Look at the gloss black on that. That matches the bike's gloss black perfectly. I'm actually very impressed with the quality of these. Now, speaking on that, I have never done a review for any company with any parts before. This is my first time doing anything like this, which is very exciting, but it also came with its own set of thought processes for me. And that was, being honest with my viewership and not selling out to any sort of company. So keep in mind, as I do this review, TCMT in no way gave me any directions on how to do this review, what to say, and if they had, I would have completely declined doing so. So you can know that what I'm telling you guys is honest review, and I'm honestly just so far impressed with the quality of the stuff. If that changes, I will totally let you guys know. Now, moving forward, we have a full harness here, and I think that we will end up cutting off a bunch of stuff that we don't use. This bike isn't going to have an antenna, some of the other things. So the harness looks good, the plugs look good, so good there. This is the harness for our LED taillight. Now, I really like this LED taillight. There are two different styles, well, a few different styles if you count smoked lenses or red lenses, but a few different styles in terms of the actual lighting itself. Sometimes you'll see the ones that just have a bunch of LED dots all the way across. Those are fine, but I think that these are much more with the times, that kind of like LED lava tube looking style. So these things are going to look really, really sweet. I cannot wait to see how it actually lights up on the bike. It came with the plug here to go ahead and solder or connect however you want to the harness here. So we'll figure all of that out. These antenna jacks, this sits on the bike like so. These antenna jacks would stick out. You can just unscrew this one. So honestly, we'll go ahead and do that right now because I will not be running that. And then on this side, as you can see, you can't just unscrew it or remove it. That's because you need to go ahead and unscrew the antenna jack here first. So we'll unscrew that. And now, if you look in there, you can just go ahead and slide it right out. So, bam, much cleaner already. Look at that. So, we're gonna go ahead and figure out how to install these hard parts on the bike in terms of how they line up, drilling them, everything like that. And then we'll get into the wiring as like the second part of all of this. All right, so based on the pictures I've seen, I'm thinking it's gonna sit something along the lines of that. Maybe in a little bit more. Obviously, once this plug is drilled out. Now, when I've looked on the inside, I do see that there is some notching for kind of, you can tell where you need to drill. So we'll go ahead and take a look in there and show you guys what we're talking about. All right, so when we open this up, when we look inside, we see that we have this notch here, and then we've got the notches for the antennas, which we're not going to drill since I don't want to run the antennas. And then we have these holes here and here and over here. So those are going to be where we're going to drill. And then we have screws that just screw into the light. So it should be quick and easy. We'll just drill it in from this side and check back in. So this is the size screw that you're gonna receive. So you're gonna wanna use a drill bit about that size. You do not just wanna send these through. You will crack the heck out of the paint and the plastic. You always wanna pre-drill your stuff. So we'll go ahead and drill the screw holes first, and then we'll figure out, probably drill right in the center here, a pilot. No, we'll just do it now. We'll drill a pilot right here, right in the middle. Careful not to send your drill bit through into the back of your tour pack here. All right, last two over here. It's that quick and easy, you guys. I really like that they dimpled all this stuff out for us in anticipation that if we decide to do these upgrades that we're already set up to do them. This is the exact width of the plug. We go ahead and send this through, and then we'll just have to Dremel out the top and the bottom corners to go ahead and get that thing fitted right.
Water, and I also have a cute little coffee.
Oh, a coffee? Yeah.
You didn't say that you wanted it.
Here, honey. I got you a ring. Shut up.
That doesn't look right.
So these are the holes that the screws are going to be going into. We want to be very careful not to crack this plastic. So we're going to go nice and slow, and we're not going to overdo it. This is not something we need to worry about rattling off like some of the other parts that are on these bikes. We want to take our time and be very cautious. All right, you guys, don't mind the mess, but here we have what I've been working on in terms of our harness. Now, the harness that TCMT sent me is the one that they have available, and that works for anything up to the 2024s, but not the 2024s. Only the trikes would this work. So the wiring is now different on the 2024s. You've got this big harness plug here, and Harley Davidson has now come out with an adapter harness. It's like 150 bucks for the accessories for all of this. But I decided to do my own research on which wires were which for tail light, brake light, left blinker, right blinker, and then obviously ground. And it was quite simple to figure out. You've got your pins starting from here at 1 through 6, and then you've got 7 through 12. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 are going to be your taillight stuff. Number 12 here is going to be your ground. 5 and 6 here, and 7 and 8 are your channels for either saddlebag speakers or your tour pack speakers. So I have it here, and I'll go ahead and leave this up on the screen for you guys on the side here so you can take a look at it. But just as I said, now ignore the colors here because this is going to be specific to whatever harness you have, but just know whichever one you're looking for, those are your numbers. That's how it correlates here. These are your channels if you're going to be doing speakers, which I will be doing. So if you don't want to spend $150 on the harness, or you want this information for anything else, there it is. That's what you can expect out of your 12-pin plug here. We're going to go ahead and solder this stuff up and test it. I already did, but I'll show you guys the test after I solder it up, clean it up, let you guys know the end result, and we'll keep moving. All right, you guys, checking back in here. This is the harness that we went ahead and soldered the harness from TCMT to, this guy here. And it was just the 5 wires, and they're all cleanly soldered in this bundle. I went ahead and spaced out the solders so that it didn't make a fat clump here. Went ahead and reused the factory loom protector here. just with some electrical tape. Super, super clean. You can't even tell really that this was an add-on. I mean, it literally looks like it came from the harness, just like these ones. So really quick, we'll just show you the quick test. We have the marker lights on. We have the tail light on. We've got right blinker, nice and sequential, very cool. We've got left blinker, nice and sequential, right on. And we have our brake light. Perfect. Looks like we can continue on with this install. Let's dive right back in. So we've got the tour pack flipped over here. Now, factory from TCMT, there's a little spot where you can see where they want you to drill and do the wiring harness there, and then run a grommet. I am going to go ahead and do it from underneath. That way I can run the harness like this, and then it'll run along the fender that way. I don't know whether or not you'd consider it a plus or minus doing it underneath in terms of water or anything like that, but honestly, riding solo in the rain, there should be less water intrusion this way. And then there will be a rubber grommet as well. So we're gonna go ahead and drill it out and check back in. All right, so this is the size of the plug. This is the size of the drill bit I'm gonna be using. You may be wondering, how am I gonna manage that? I'm going to take the time to remove the Molex connector here and just run the wires through. And then when I do a rubber grommet, the rubber grommet will go around these wires. That way I'm not drilling a giant hole for this connector since it's always gonna live outside of the tour pack. So that's what we're gonna do. All right, you guys, we have the Molex connector disassembled. So we can go ahead and run these wires through that little hole that we drilled instead of having to have a big one. Then we'll go ahead and reassemble the harness and we'll be good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of shrink wrap on where I know it's gonna go through here. That way there's no chafe point. And then I have some wire loom stuff for the rest of this, which will all just live in the tour pack underneath the carpet. All right, you guys, so now that we have the tour pack lighting all done, it's time to figure out how to mount up these speakers and figure out the wiring. These do not come with any speaker wires within the harness, so I am going to be running to the store, grabbing some speaker wires, and then probably some more little Molex end connector pieces so that I can just pin them right into the factory 12 slot plug that I already showed you guys, the 5, 6, 7, and 8 spots. And it'll be super clean on that end, and then just female spade connectors on the speakers, just standard like any speaker would be. Just got the positive and negative there. So let's go ahead and figure out how to cut some big holes in this tour pack for these speakers. All right, so just like all of the other holes that I have needed to drill in this tour pack, they are pre-divoted out, so you can see where we need to cut here for the speaker grill, and then for the 3 holding bolts, same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, and this giant hole here. So we're gonna be using a hole saw for the 2 holes, the big speaker grill holes, and then just a regular drill bit for these guys. The kit from TCMT does not come with the little speaker grill things. That may be separate within their website, but I don't have those. I ordered them from Harley Davidson. They're about $25 a piece. You don't need them per se, but why not? So I'm gonna be using a 2.5-inch hole saw. Not sure if that's gonna be the right size, if I need to go a little bit bigger, but we're just gonna start with this and see where that lands us. All right, so I did a quick little pre-drill, not all the way through, but just to give it basically like a punch would, just get it started. So it looks decently close to right. I guess we're just gonna go ahead and try it out. Ugh. This is a little scary. That's fine. Everything's fine. All right, well, it appears that went actually very well in terms of being centered. So, go ahead and knock the other side out. Not bad at all. We'll go ahead and use a file or even just like some Scotch-Brite or sandpaper in here. Clean this edge up. Make sure not to mess the paint up too bad, but this is all gets covered up. So yeah, I'll check back in with you guys when we get to that point. 2.5 inch appears to be the perfect size. So got them all filed out, really nice and clean, looks good. We go ahead and line up the speakers and drill the other 3 mounting bolt holes on each side, and then we will mock them up and see how they look. All right, first speaker is mounted up, bolted up tight. Looks really clean. It's nice and sturdy on the bike, not going anywhere. Lines up really well. See what it looks like with the tour pack closed here. Oh yeah. There you guys go. There's a comparison of with and without. I think it looks way better with. Lines up really nice. Let's see what it looks like on the other side here. Oh yeah. Good line up there. Doesn't protrude any sort of weird from the armrest. Man, that's a freaking knockout. Sweet. Let's go ahead and get the other side mounted up, and then we'll figure out wiring. That is the second side done. We are back from the store, and we picked up some electrical connectors, a male and a female pigtail set. The speaker wires are going to get soldered to that. We've got some heat shrink, longer sections so that I can heat shrink the speaker wires in their own loom within what will end up being in this. That way there's a little bit of extra protection from the speaker wires getting any sort of a interference from the small power wires that are, powering the taillight section. We've got some gold-plated female connectors. Gold-plated is better for conductivity, so better audio quality with those. And some 18 gauge speaker wire. I know I went with 16-14 for the females. They did not have 22 to 18s. I'll just fold the 18 gauge over and stick it in. You'll see anyways. Let's just get right on into building this speaker wire harness. All right, you guys, so we have the harness all finished up here. It's plugged into the taillight here, runs down through underneath the plate here, and drops down along the fender of the bike. And then we've got the 2 plugs that come here and here for the side lights. I have not gotten screws for them yet. They did not come with screws, so they're just taped up. So I have to remember to grab screws from the hardware store. Other than that, we're good there. Waiting on the little brackets from Harley Davidson that are the honeycomb, that are the little vents, 25 bucks a pop. I've got those part number for you guys in the description. Probably use some washers here, grab those at the hardware store too. But other than that, what comes from TCMT works pretty well. I did have to buy the speaker wire as well. And then obviously we did all the drilling and cutting. So then we have the wiring running down from underneath along the frame of the bike here, drops in, and I have the TCMT plug here. I did have to make some adaptations to it, which I showed you guys, but runs right in through here and connects into the factory 12 pin plug, which I showed you guys. And then this one is our speaker wire, which runs in right here and comes into the plug here. If you guys have any questions on how to do this stuff, I will absolutely answer them in the comments. So basically, when I do not have the tour pack on, all I'll have to do is disconnect this plug here, and then the wiring will just come right out and off the bike. And the same with this plug here, and away the tour pack comes. Super clean, and we're gonna go ahead and throw the seat on, get a final view of everything all assembled, and we'll throw the carpet in, and that'll be that. All right, you guys, I know this is quite the transition here from the video currently, but I am up on my week of work and I brought my King Tour pack with me because that's the only way I'm able to come up to work for a week and bring all of my clothes, my gym bag, everything I need to be comfortable away from home for over a week, without having to really stuff stuff in the bags and then start choosing what I want to bring and what I want to leave behind. So really there is no replacement for being able to have the luxury to really bring whatever it is that I need. And that's just me. Now, if I've got my girlfriend on the back, you best believe you're gonna need all the room you can get. Now, having said that, I know I've had some questions related to, do I have issues opening the saddlebags with the tour pack? Overall, how do I like it? Quality, everything like that. So we'll start with the saddlebags here. It pops right open. It does not interfere at all. It's really close with the new speaker mounts, but that wasn't installed on my previous video, and it does not hit. Like I said, it's close, but as you can see, it just squeaks on by. So that's that. And let's see. Another question I've gotten is in terms of rider comfort, how does the girlfriend like it? Well, she is very comfortable on it. She obviously prefers this over the just the backrest, the sissy bar. So I kind of screwed myself on that because now she wants to use this, but that's all right. Let's see, lighting wise, I originally did not want to do any lighting, but I ended up deciding, you know, if I have the tour pack on the bike, most of the time it's gonna be because of my girlfriend being on the back. And I figured, you know, if there's something I can do about being more visible with her on the back especially, and keeping us safe by adding the light, I'm gonna do it. And and I've actually grown to really appreciate the look. So maybe I'm getting old, maybe I'm getting more responsible, I don't know, but I think it looks great with the light. It's a cheap upgrade. You know, the harness is plug and play. If you have anything before a 24, as we found out, if you have a 24, you're gonna need the adapter, still no big deal. I think it's an absolute knockout. As you guys know, I have done quite a few things to this bike already since purchasing it. And to be honest, the upgrade that I appreciate the most, besides the exhaust, let's be honest, is this tour pack, because I have so much more space. I have so much more audio capabilities without having to add a permanent solution like saddlebag lids and all that stuff with the extra weight. If I want, I can just pop it right off. Rider comfort, my girlfriend is much more likely to want to hop on the back. You know, all of these things add up to really make a tour pack a just absolutely phenomenal addition to these bikes. So if you've been considering it, TCMT, look them up. You know, they're a great affordable option. They have a ton of products on their site. Before I looked for a tour pack, I had never heard of them because I'm new to this kind of market and scene and coming from sport bikes, and they have so much stuff, like, you know, reflectors, saddlebag hinges, if you want to go to black or chrome, and just so many things. So check them out. Link will be in the description. I'll have a 5% discount code for you guys as well. And now back to the regular broadcast. Now that we've done a good walk around of the bike, now the tour pack is pretty much wrapped up besides those vents and whatnot. We need to go ahead and see what this sounds like. So let's check it out. As you can hear, those TCMT speakers in the tour pack sound pretty dang good. Now keep in mind, as far as I know, the stock Harley Davidson amplifier is a 200 watt from Rockford Fosgate, and I believe it is a 2-channel amplifier because I did not have an option to set up rear speakers in my infotainment. I have the Rockford Fosgate 500 watt amplifier and the Stage 2 fairing speakers installed now, and so I was able to add the rear speakers on my setup. But that is something that you are going to have to dive into when you do decide to install either saddlebag speakers or tour pack speakers. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, that is the scenario. Having said that, if you're doing an upgraded amplifier and you have upgraded speakers in your fairing, you may consider upgrading the TCMT speakers in your tour pack. I did have to adjust the fader a little bit more forward as to not send so much power to those tour pack speakers so that I don't blow them. That will be something that I upgrade to Stage 2 Rockford Fosgate as well down the line, but they're just fine for now. And I think they're great bang for buck. So having said that, we're gonna go ahead and try to get Mrs. Off-Wheat Garage out here and get her on the bike, see how she fits on the tour pack, let her talk a little bit. I know that's not something that she's really done before, and I'm not sure, you know, how much she wants to really do it, but for us, I think she will. Unfortunately, it is nothing but rain in our schedule. I'd be surprised if you can't hear it banging on my garage roof right now, but I did pick up the new Insta 360 X4, and I had hoped that I could get some really cool shots with her on the back, you know, riding for you guys. Unfortunately, with the weather forecast, that's not gonna happen. So, and down the line, we'll go ahead and do something like that, but for now, this is gonna have to suffice. So, I think that's about everything. Let's go ahead and jump back in.
I am 5'3". I'd like to say I'm 5'4", but it's definitely 5'3". I'm about 130 pounds, and I'd say that I fit pretty nicely on this seat. Don't put that in there. Yeah, I'd say this is a pretty comfortable option. I will not be complaining.
Oh, hold on. You heard it here. You will not be.
Why don't you jump on here with me? Hop on this bad boy.
Right on for that flexibility. What do you think? Comfy?
Oh wait, let me just get all comfies.
Not back there?
Honestly. Well, because I have these nice arm wraps.
Yeah. Some sneakers?
That I didn't have before. And actually, there's quite the wiggle room.
You want to do the outro?
Thanks guys. If you could like and subscribe.
Thank God this isn't live. All right, you guys. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap the video up here. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the support. Please, if you have comments, questions, concerns down below, ask in the comment section. I'd be glad to help you guys out. Go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys in the next off week.